Hello, I am Bernard Baruch, here to remind you of the reality we face today. Let me begin with a statement I made on April 16, 1947. Let us not be deceived. We are today in the midst of a Cold War. These words, spoken in the early years of a global ideological struggle, remain profoundly relevant today. At the time, I described tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union after World War II. This was no conventional war of tanks and bombs. It was a battle of influence, values, and ideologies. The Cold War was fought in proxy conflicts, propaganda, economic competition, and technological races, each side asserting dominance without triggering devastating global conflict. It was a war in the shadows, but its consequences were no less real. Make no mistake, we are still in a Cold War. The Soviet Union may have collapsed, but the conflict never truly ended. Its dynamics evolved, its players shifted. But the fundamental clash of worldviews remains. What's more troubling is that in this critical phase, half of you seem to be switching sides. The Cold War was always about more than geography. It was about principles, freedom, democracy, and defending allies. It was about ensuring promises mattered, alliances were sacred, and aggression wasn't rewarded. For decades, U.S. leaders, regardless of party, upheld these principles. They never wavered in supporting allies or standing against adversaries. Yet now, for the first time, Russia finds influence not in battlefields but in America's political discourse. A segment of the U.S. executive and parts of the Republican Party signal alignment, wittingly or unwittingly, with Russian narratives. This moment marks an unprecedented turn in the Cold War's saga. Internal divisions sow doubt about U.S. commitments, unraveling the world order. Consider Ukraine, a nation that showed profound trust in 1994 by giving up its nuclear arsenal, the third largest in the world, in exchange for security assurances under the Budapest Memorandum. Ukraine gave up its greatest deterrent because it trusted the stability of the world order. Yet when Russia violated that agreement, annexing Crimea in 2014 and invading Ukraine in 2022, those promises were tested. While past U.S. administrations upheld commitments through sanctions and aid, cracks appeared during the Trump era as leadership wavered, withholding military aid and questioning alliances. Now, as Ukraine stands on the front lines, the stakes couldn't be higher. Russia's aggression isn't just territorial. It seeks to rewrite the post-WW2 order. If the U.S. falters, abandoning Ukraine or signaling division, the repercussions will resonate far beyond this war. Allies will question American reliability and seek new strategies, leaving the U.S. diminished. Let me be clear. The Cold War never ended because the struggle for influence, values, and global leadership never ceased. What has changed is the resolve of the players. For decades, the United States stood firm. But now, as disinformation spreads, the lines blur. Internal divisions threaten the very principles we claim to defend. Make no mistake. Abandoning our commitments now is tantamount to losing the Cold War after decades of sacrifice. The alliances forged and principles defended risk being undone if we falter. Staying true to our promises is not just about honor. It is essential for global stability and preserving the legacy of freedom and resilience that defines us. To those who question the stakes, I say again, let us not be deceived. We are today in the midst of a second Cold War. The Cold War has shifted forms, loyalties, and players, but its importance remains undiminished. What you do now, how you support your allies, defend values, and resist division, will determine the world order's future. Being consistent and steadfast with who we are, and who we've always been, is our only salvation. Through unwavering commitment to freedom, democracy, and integrity, we can navigate modern conflicts and ensure our legacy endures. For insights on the modern information war and its role in today's Cold War, visit information-warfare.com. Together, let's ensure freedom and democracy prevail. Thank you.